Hey everybody, and welcome back or welcome to practice. We're going to work through a pretty easygoing practice today. Props wise, it's always nice to have some kind of block or block equivalent, maybe a pillow. I'm going to start you lying on your back in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So having said that, if you want some support there, you might want two of something in the same shape or some support. We're going to come to lie back, bring the soles of the feet to touch, and let your knees hang out wide. If you're using a prop, you're going to use that underneath the thigh. You can choose, of course, the setting, and however much you elevate it, the more it's elevated, the more support you'll have. And if you're doing that, you're going to even that out on both sides and just have it less intense in the sensation in the thighs, adductors. And then you can choose as well how close you'd like the feet to the body. And again, there's no right or wrong there. It's just going to change the feeling, change the sensation. And then in terms of top half of the body, placement of the arms, you can have hands as I have them, just your hands on your belly. If you're feeling a little uneasy or a little anxious today, you can take the arms in a cactus instead above the head. So bring your bend to the arms, and just rest the backs of the hands to the ground. And if you want as well, just something traditional, arms as we would have them in a Shavasana. And we won't be here for too long, but if anything does get too much or feeling becomes overwhelming, just bring the knees up to the ceiling, take your feet as wide as the mat. And then as always, if you need to fiddle, adjust, change, adjust clothing, fix your hair, adjust the shoulders, the back of the neck, please feel free to just have some time to move. And then move as much as you need to, so that when we do become still, it feels like we can really stay still for a moment. And you can start to, just over the next 3 or so rounds of breath, take some really deliberate, intentional breaths. So turning it into a conscious breath that we really witness, and just notice the feeling of breathing. You might want to notice just any dominant feeling in general, emotion, headspace. And of course, noticing any sensation right now, adductor, inner thigh. And if you want to, you can really just imagine breathing into that space. Don't stay too much longer, think 5 or so more breaths. Again, just a really long, calm, rhythmic breath. If you have your hands on your belly, it might be nice to notice the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. So we're going to take one more breath here. Let's take it collectively. So inhale through the nose when you're ready. And really think of breathing right to the brim, right to the very top. And then everyone open the mouth and just take a big sigh. Feel like you could release something or find some kind of relief even. And then once you're at the bottom of the breath, seal off the lips and just breathe in natural breath in and out the nose again. And then when you're ready to move, we're going to bring the hands to the outside of the thighs. You can move the props out the way if you need, and then assist the knees closed together. And you'll bring your knees in towards your chest and just give yourself a little squeeze. So you can either just take hands to knees. If you want something more, you can really wrap the forearms around the shins, even plug the knees up towards the eyes. Maybe they feel like they could touch the eyes. Closed eyes, you're plugging knees into eye sockets. You can take a little rock from side to side in this little ball. And then if you need to relax the back of the head back down towards the ground, we're going to find an eagle wrap of the legs. So you're going to cross your right knee over your left, If you want to, you can wrap your toes back around the inside of the shin and then interlace the hands behind the back of the head. Relax your head into your hands. Next time you breathe out, you're going to drop the knees over towards the left hand side. And then just let it be really passive. So let everything just land where it lands. So there's no expectation over what this should look like, even how it should feel. And just let that right elbow, right shoulder lift and respond as it needs to. And just keep your head heavy. Keep your face really soft. Keep your breath really deliberate. And as much as you can, keep your mind really anchored, really centered in your body. And we'll just give it 3 or so more breaths. And I want you to really imagine that as you exhale here, there's some kind of release, some kind of extra space. Maybe it feels like the elbow, the knees start to work a little closer to the floor. And then when you're ready to squeeze the legs together to help you, guide your knees back through the middle, back through center. Happy baby pose, untangle the legs. Send your feet up to the sky, take your hands to your feet. So you can relax the back of the head back down to the floor. And I really don't mind here what this looks like. You can have hands on your feet, on your ankles, your shins, even the backs of the knees. And then you can choose if you want this just to be still and just applying pressure of your hands on the feet and knees towards the ground. You might even want to take a little rock from side to side. It doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes just a little bit of movement can feel good. And I'll take 1 more breath. And we're going to come back to that eagle wrapper of the legs. Left knee crosses over your right this time. Interlace the hands behind the back of the head. You can take an inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, drop the knees to the right. And then as they land, let whatever needs to happen on that left side happen. So if the ribs, the shoulder, the elbow need to lift, let them lift. And just kind of succumb to gravity here. So just let it be heavy and soft simultaneously. And just find that even rhythmic breath once again. We'll take 2 more breaths. Try and not rush the beat of the breath. And then pull belly back towards the spine, zip the legs in towards one another to roll back through the middle. Second round, happy baby, untangle and take your hands to whatever placement felt good. And then this time if you want, either staying still or you can alternate one leg straightening out and then the other. If you feel like you have the room, the flexibility and you want to go there, you can straighten both legs at the same time. And if it felt better to rock, you can find that rocking left and right. And I'm going to give you 1 or 2 more breaths. When you feel like you've had enough, bring your knees in towards your chest and we're going to meet in a tabletop position. So don't mind if you want to rock up and down the length of the spine, if you just want to rock yourself over to one side, cross your ankles, swing them around. Just do what works for you. And once you're in tabletop, just some time for free flow here. So that can be just a traditional cat-cow. And if you're moving through that, it's an inhale to drop the belly and exhale to round the spine. If you want as well, maybe it's a rolling cat-cow action, some shifting forward and back, even some moving side to side. So exploring a little bit of space in the sides of the body. And if you feel trusting enough, close your eyes and just kind of feel your way through this. So it really, really does not matter what this looks like. There isn't a right or wrong. And you're just kind of feeling into sticky points. So just figuring out this body, figuring out how it feels today. And as you figure it out, you'll know what you need to give yourself in practice and how you can kind of honor the boundaries of the body today, honor energy levels, and kind of give yourself the gift of whatever it is that you need. And we'll take 1 more breath. And then once you're ready, come back through the middle, come back through center. We're going to inhale, drop the belly again, lift the sit bones, lift the chin. As you exhale, everyone get on the same page, round the spine, bring your chin in towards your chest. Our next inhale, find the middle, find center, and kick your right leg back, float it parallel to the floor. Switch on the right foot in some way, and if you want, you can take a little pull of the collarbones out in front of the fingers. As you exhale, runner's lunge on the right. Step your right foot forward. We're going to keep the back knee down, and if you want a little more room, just wiggle your left knee a little further back. You're going to take right hand, place it inside the right thigh, and then start to turn the toes, the knee out on the same diagonal. And as you push the heel of the hand into the thigh, like you could turn your chest up towards the sky. And you can let the left hip drop down towards the front of the room. If you're really flexible, pull it back slightly from the edge, so keep it a little bit contained. And if you want to close down your eyes and just take some really intentional breaths into that front line of the body. Sometimes I like to picture the breath quite literally from that left kneecap all the way up to the left collarbone. You can send it out into the right hip, right adductor, wherever you feel sensation there. And then when you're ready to, we're going to meet in a supported side plank on the left hand. So start to spin on your left knee. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Reach your right arm up and overhead. Bring your bicep near your ear. So you decide here if you want to turn chest over towards the right wall. If you want more of a back bend, you can start to turn your chest up to the ceiling, but keep that right foot really grounded, really anchored on the ground. And we'll take one more breath. And then as you inhale, come to an open gate pose. Start to lift the shoulders up above your left knee, reach your arms out wide. And we're going to spin on the left heel, turn your toes out, your heel in, bring a bend to the right leg, and you can just start to see how it feels to drop the hips down towards that right heel and then to pull hips back to stack above that left knee. So just moving 2 or 3 rounds, and it doesn't have to be right to the edge. You can stop just before it, but just exploring a little bit of space. On the next time that you drop your hip to your heel, pause, bring your right forearm to your right thigh, your palm facing up, and imagine an extended side angle with that left knee down on the ground. So you're reaching your left arm up and overhead, and we're going to start to refine, think of tweaking it. So as you push, right forearm down into the floor, see if there's room to spin, chest over towards the wall in front of you. And then imagine getting long from your left hip right out to your left wrist, lengthen that left side of the body. And if you still want more, you can even squeeze the glutes, tuck the tailbone slightly underneath you. So send the pubic bone forward and see if that changes any feeling. We'll take one more inhale. As you exhale, land your left hand to the top of the mat. Supported side plank. Now as you breathe in, float your right leg, reach the right bicep near the ear. As you exhale, right hand to the ground. Spin on the left knee, let it respond. Bring your right knee to your nose and step your right foot through between your hands. We meet in an Anjali Asana. As you breathe in, reach arms up to the sky. So we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring your hands to your heart center and take an open prayer twist to the left. So your right elbow hooks inside the right knee. You're pushing your elbow into your knee to turn your chest over towards the left wall. And if you want a little more, you can place right hand down to the floor, even to a block, and reach your left arm up to the sky. Wherever you are, keep the tricep inside the knee and keep really turning chest over to face the left. Now when you're ready, we're moving back to a supported side plank, this time to the back of the mat. So spin on your left knee, left hand lands to the back of the mat, extend the right arm, the right leg. Again, decide if you want it to feel like a side bend or a back bend. Take one more breath. And then see if you can push into your left hand and your right foot. Float the left leg, that's the bent leg, and kick it out in front of you for a fallen star. This will be as hard as it gets for today. So give it one inhale, stay. And then as you exhale, lower the sit bones straight down to the floor. You're going to bring a bend to your left leg and place left foot right inner thigh. So you still want to feel like your chest is turned over the left knee. And then we're going to start to create a side bend down the right leg. So you can place the elbow propped somewhere either down the thigh, maybe even the shin. You can create a fist with the right hand and either bring a fist to your right temple or even a flat hand. And if it feels like you can't reach, you can pop something on the leg. It can be a block or a pillow, and just bring that thigh up towards you. And the same breath, if you don't feel it enough, you can bring the elbow down towards the ground, so inside the leg instead, and that's going to give you a little more feeling. And then the right foot is flexed. You can choose either left hand to your left thigh, or if you want a little more, reach your left arm up and overhead. You can either stay with just a reach of the fingers to your toes. For something more passive, bring a bend to the arm and just relax a bent arm to the back of the head. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. So really breathing down that left side body. And you imagine, as always, breathing either from the elbow or the wrist all the way down to the crest of that hip. And if you want to refine it or give it a little more sensation, take a little lean onto your right sit bone. So think of leaning slightly back behind you. If you still want more, think a big inhale. And as you breathe right to the top of the breath, there's that big expansion at the belly, the side of the body. You might get a little more feeling in the left. And we'll take last breath to stay. And use your belly to your spine to guide you back up. You're going to turn your chest to face the front of the mat. Kick both legs out in front of you. Shimmy yourself through the middle as you need to. And then flex both your feet. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, Paschimottanasana to fold. So this can be done with knees as bent as you need them to be. You can sit on a block or sit on a pillow, and that will help if you feel like you can't hinge at all. Just create that little fold at the hip crease. And at the same time, if you feel like you need more, you can add a prop or a block underneath the sole of the feet, and you'll find there's a little more room to reach the arms. You make it a little more intense on the hamstrings. And then give it 3 or so more breaths, make them deliberate. And just keep coming back to the sound of breathing, to the feeling of breathing, to this feeling of really being aware of what's happening in your body. And take one more exhale. On that breath out, see if there is a little more room to deepen the fold. And then release your hands. Walk yourself back up towards a seat. We come to a tabletop position, back onto hands and knees. Once you're there, it's one round together. Cow pose, breathe in, drop the belly, lift the sit bones. As you exhale, round the spine. And then on the inhale, find the middle, kick your left leg back, floated parallel to the floor, and if you want more, reach the collarbones forward. As you exhale, runner's lunge on the left, step the left foot forward. So if you feel like this is already enough in that right hip flexor, you can stay. If you want more, take a little wiggle of your right knee back. And then we're going to bring left hand again to left inner thigh this time. Turn the toes out on the diagonal, send the knee in the same direction, and then drop your right hip down towards your right wrist. So just pausing, breathing. Turn the chest up towards the ceiling, so pull left shoulder blade back towards the right. You can relax the head, relax the neck if it feels good, and always an opportunity to close down your eyes and see if that helps you feel more. See if it helps you really notice where the sensation is in your body. Maybe help you connect to the sound of breathing. We'll take one more breath. And then we're going to meet in that supported side plank on the right. Spin on your right knee. Step your left leg back and reach your left arm up and overhead. Either a side bend or a back bend. You can even move between the two if that feels right. But give it last breath. And then as you inhale, open gate, reach the arms wide, lift the chest, shoulders come up above that right knee. You're going to bring a bend into the left leg, heel in, toes out, and just 2 or 3 times to see how it feels to move, to lunge, to pulse the hips forward and back. And then on your next time, drop the hips towards that left heel. Think extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. So I want you to imagine here I really had hold of your right wrist and I'm pulling your right wrist up and over the head towards the back of the mat. And like you could find a little more feeling down that left side again. And if you still want more, push the left forearm into your left thigh. So make a bigger gap between the left ear and the left shoulder. And then maybe even a pressing of the hip bones forward out in front of you. Give it one more inhale. As you exhale, right hand lands to the top of the mat. Supported side plank again as you breathe in. This time float your left leg floated parallel. As you exhale, left hand to the ground. Let the right knee spin, respond. Bring your left knee to your nose and step your left foot through between your hands. Anjaneyasana as you breathe in. Reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, open prayer twist to the right. So you can match what you did. Palms together, arms wide, maybe left hand to a block. But really just turning chest towards the right wall now. Stay with the breath. We'll take one more breath here. And then when you're ready to move, it's supported side plank to the back of the mat. Right knee spins. Right hand lands to the back of the mat. Reach your left arm, reach your left leg. When you're ready to move, we're going to push into right hand, push into left foot. Falling star, your right leg kicks out in front of you. Again, strongest posture of the day. Push into hand, push into both feet. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the sit bones down to the floor. Right knee bends. I'm going to create that side bend down the left leg. So you can choose, and both sides might be different. Elbow to knee, to quad, to shin. Maybe it's elbow to the ground or elbow to some kind of support. And then either a fist or a flat hand. Right hand can be to your right knee. You can reach it up and over. You can place a bent arm to the back of the head. And then once you've figured out what feels right for your body, you can either just stay there if it feels like it's already enough. If you feel like you want more, take a small lean back onto your left sit bone. It doesn't have to be big. You can think even a little turning of the right collarbone up to the sky. And if you still need more, there might be some kind of relationship with a big breath in and more feeling in that right side. I'll take 2 more breaths. Take 1 more exhale. Stay right to the bottom of the breath. Don't rush it. And then when you're ready to guide yourself back up, you can use hands, belly, whatever you need to help you up. And then turn your chest towards the front of the mat. Kick both legs forward. So you're going to take a little shake out of the legs if you want it. And then we're going to make this a passive fold. So I want you to completely relax the legs. Let the knees bend, let the feet fall out. And then next time you exhale, just take a rounded fold over the legs. So we're trying to resist the urge to hold on, to pull, to tug. But instead just to round and let it be passive and just let everything hang, let it be. If you're struggling at all to find that hinge again, it's going to be helpful to sit on a block or to sit on some pillows and just help elevate the hips a little. But let your chin really drop in towards the chest. And just 3 or so breaths. And as you breathe here, let the belly feel really relaxed. So there's lots of room, lots of space to breathe. And if it helps, feel like it slows down your mind. You can start to slow down the beat of your breath, especially that breath out.
And imagine that the two are intertwined. So as the breath starts to slow, all that chatter that's going on in your mind, the monkey mind, the analyzing, maybe the overthinking, the judging, whatever it is, all starts to slow and dissipate. Feels like the dust settles. And you're just back in the room with me again. And you're going to keep this rounded spine. Bring your chin to your chest and start to roll yourself past a seat. You're going to roll all the way down to your back. And once you're on your back, if you want to take a stretch or a little bit of movement before we close, feel free. Otherwise, just a Shavasana to land either arms alongside the body. Or if it felt helpful to have the arms up above the head in that soft cactus, or even hands to belly, then you can go ahead and take one or the other two. We had in that forward fold that relationship between slowing down the breath, or at least just making it deliberate and conscious. And keep imagining that slowing down that mental chatter. And we're going to close with 3 rounds of breath together and just be really present for them. You can breathe in through the nose. And then breathe out through the nose and just make it long. So keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing until it feels like you get to the very bottom of your breath. We'll go 2 more just like that, breathing in through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose. And then once more, and pay attention to it like it really matters. Inhale. You can make it a little softer this time through the nose. Exhale. And if you have some time to just stay and spend a couple moments by yourself and to yourself, then please do. You just take as many of those long, full breaths as you feel like you need. And as always, thank you, and I hope I see you again soon.